Hello and good evening. I see you've stumbled across our lovely, relaxing little store. Welcome to Midnight Games. Midnight Games is a shop, as you can tell from the name of the shop, that's open into the late hours of the night, as well as all day. Because obviously some people cannot make it to the shops in the day, or there's not a game shop near them that they can, a local game shop anymore, due to how obviously the economy and the way games are going. But we like to provide a nice, calming, relaxing space where you can come and at your own pleasure whenever you want. Whether you work late nights and you can't get in the day because you're working, or you work early mornings, it just creates a space where anyone can come in at any time and fulfill any gaming needs that they have. Especially now that less games are being manufactured physically. Obviously you can get them physically, but a lot of consoles are being manufactured without physical game slots. So we specialise obviously in physical games. Physical boxes, cartridges, discs, controllers, anything you may need to heighten your gaming experience. So feel free to have a look around and a browse. Anything you may need, we do anything from retro games through to new generation consoles such as PlayStation 5, Nintendo Switch, the Xbox Series X, and all the way back down to SNES and anything in between, like the Xbox 360 and the Wii. So you can feel free to have a little browse around. As I said, help yourself to a drink out of the fridge, your coffee, and just really take your time and take it all in and make sure you make the right choices. I'll be here if you need me. So I'll let you have a little wander, a little browse, and come back to me if there's anything else you may need help with. I see you're back. So, is there anything particular I can help you with that you couldn't find or you weren't sure? Or just something you'd like to me explain to you, just go through the games with you? What consoles are you looking for? Ideally, what manufacturers? So you're looking for some Nintendo games. What consoles are we talking? Older style consoles, such as the Game Boy, the Wii, the DS? Or are we talking the top of the range new Switch games, such as Switch games such as like Mario Odyssey, Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Scarlet? So you're going to look for the more retro type of games. Very good choice. So you want to go for, what do you want to go for? We've only got one original Nintendo DS game in stock, so I can always grab that one for you. Anything else you're looking for in particular? Wii games, we've got quite a few of them in stock. Any occasion to look into the Wii games for? Are they just for you to play? Are they for like family gatherings, have like a party games and stuff like that? Mixture of both? Yeah, that's fine. We have plenty if we need. If you just wait here 1 minute, I will grab some games for you and we'll go through them. Right, here we are. Got a load of games here for you, so let's slowly go through them. We'll go through the Wii games first because there are more of them to go through. And I sort of grabbed many of the classics. There's a few odd ones out for you, but we've got quite a lot of Wii classic games that you consider with the Wii. So first of all, this is unboxed, but we've got Mario Kart Wii Edition. This is obviously, on any console, this is a must-have. Mario Kart is a staple of the Nintendo systems since it's been released on other consoles. And obviously this is good for a family party and a game where obviously this is known to kind of destroy some friendships because it's a bit competitive. But it's definitely a must-have that I would recommend, because this is the first Mario Kart game that I played really, and it's obviously, I wouldn't even say it's much different to today's games, but it's a very good game, and it's a really good game to get everyone crowded around the Wii in the lounge and playing and having a good time, and sometimes getting a little bit angry, but that's what parties and family meetings are for, aren't they? Games that destroy the family. Obviously this is unboxed, it's in a little plastic wallet. So this would be a little bit cheaper than usual, so I can knock a little bit of the normal price off because obviously it's not boxed, but the game works just as fine. It looks like the disc is a little bit scratched, but I can assure you that's just the packaging. So would you be interested in me putting this to one side for you to buy later on? Perfect, very good choice. I'm going to put this to one side for you. And we're going to move on to our next game. I think I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 Wii games in total for you here. And 1 DS game. So we're going to move on to, I'd say probably the classic of all classics for the Wii. And that is Wii Sports. And this one does include Wii Sports Resort as well. Because obviously you can't have a Wii game. You can't even own a Wii, I'd say, without having Wii Sports, because if anyone remembers when these, I think the Wii was released in 2006, and Wii Sports on its own was released with the Wii as like the launch game, and it includes 5 sports, like really basic sports of golf, bowling, boxing, tennis and baseball, so all games you can play with like multiple people. And I think it's one of the reasons that we did so well, because obviously motion controls, you can bowl, you can play tennis, baseball, and it really gets like, it's really fun to play. It's not too taxing, anyone can play it. It's not like you don't have to be that physically able, but it also like, yeah, gets you up having a good time for everyone. And obviously you get to use your own character in this, you get to use the Mii, which you can create, so obviously it's like yourself are in the game. We'll get on to Wii Sports Resort in a minute, but the thing I like about Wii Sports obviously is the, if anyone remembers the iconic soundtrack. Yeah, yes, of course you do. But it's, I think anyone hears the Wii Sports soundtrack that's played Wii Sports will recognise it instantly. It's such a brilliant soundtrack. As I said, this game gives you hours of fun. It's got so many different sports you can play with different people. 1 to 4 players, 1 to 2 players, so you don't have to play on your own. But really, a sort of life of the party game. And then obviously, attached to it, you've got Wii Sports Resort. See, it says 7+. I think that's because some of the games include like hitting, like boxing and sword fighting, so it's not suitable for a younger audience, but not too younger audience. 7 I think is a good middle ground. But obviously Wii Sports Resort did what Wii Sports did and made it better. So basically you're based on an island holiday resort, and you've got to it's got the option to do loads of sports like ULO retreat. So you've got, as you can see on the packaging, you've got like wakeboarding, you've got archery, you've got like rowing, and that's obviously you can see 4 people, so that means more than one of you can be rowing in the same boat. Then you've got things like cycling, running through the park. You've got the original sort of things. You've got table tennis, you've got bowling, I believe, is on it. Then you've got like the sword fighting up on the platform, sort of like a gladiator style. And there's so many more that I'm probably missing out. I think you've got flying, dogfight it's called, and just so many different things. And it's like an island you can adventure around, so it's not like a free roam, but while doing the running and the cycling and the flying, you get to see little Easter eggs of the island. And like, for a game you don't really free roam, the island is full of character and so many nice little features that you can have in the game. So it's one that I'd highly recommend, because obviously it's the 2 disc set, so obviously we've got 1 disc, the other disc is in the back in the case, so I'll go and get that when it's time if you wish to purchase this. But very good game to play. I think probably the best, as much as it's the first game, I would argue it's probably the best game to come out on the system. Would you also like me to put this one to one side for you? Perfect, I'll do that for you now. We're now sort of going towards a different, it's not a Nintendo made game, it's obviously made by another company, but it's obviously, this is sort of a family game for everyone, and it is Family Game Night Volume 3 by Hasbro. So you can play Yahtzee, Mousetrap, The Game of Life, Twister and Cluedo, and obviously these allow you to play the classic board games. Most of them run very similar to the board games Obviously Twister's a little bit different because you're on the Wii, you're not going to be all over the floor, draping yourself over people and getting in everyone's way. But all the rest run pretty similar. Yahtzee's slightly different, it's more of a card game, which is a little bit different from the original game, obviously where you shake the dice. But Mousetrap, Cluedo and the Game of Life are all games everyone knows and loves as a board game, just in digital form, with a bit of a revamp which can make them a bit more interesting to play, sometimes giving the games sort of new life. But as it says on the back, your favourite games are bigger than ever. That's obviously size-wise scaled up to the screen, and obviously a little bit more interesting, probably with a little bit more add-ons as well for you to play. So obviously this isn't the newest of games, but none of these are. But I wasn't sure if this would be something you'd be interested in, as you said you're looking for a mixture of games. And obviously some of these games don't. Cluedo, Game of Life, Mousetrap might not suit you, or Yahtzee or Twister. So I wouldn't be upset if you didn't choose this one, but obviously it's your decision. What would you like me to do with this game for you? I'll put it back, that's fine. I'll put it to one side. I'll put it to the in the know pile for now. And we can always revisit it if you wish. So, I've got number 3 games for you on this console now. And this is a classic on any console to get everyone up dancing and playing. This is Just Dance. Feel the beat, move your feet. And this is by Ubisoft. If you're not familiar with the Just Dance saga, are you? Have you heard of them before? Because they're on all different consoles. You haven't? That's fine. I'll give you another little description. So basically, the idea of this game is obviously it's got, as it says up here, includes these hits, and this is the hits of the time because I think this game came out in 2009. So it's a little bit old, a little bit over, just coming up 15 years old. But it's got the hits of the time, which are Hot and Cold by Katy Perry, Acceptable in the 80s by Calvin Harris, Pump Up the Jam, obviously that's a bit older, and Groove Is in the Heart, and not a hit at that time, that's more of an 80s, but a good mixture of songs for you to play. It says on the back here, more than 30 chart-topping tracks from pop, rock, disco and hip-hop. So you can listen to songs and dance like You Can't Touch This by MC Hammer, That's the Way I Like It by Casey and the Sunshine Band, I Like to Move It, Dare by Gorillaz, and obviously so on. And the idea of this game is you can move the controller around to suit moves. Like this here, you've got the woman, so you move the controller around to match the dance moves, and you get points for matching the dance moves. Obviously whoever matches the most in time correctly wins the round as such. A really good game to get you dancing and having good fun. Maybe a game to either get the party started or to bring out later on in the party when everyone's already a bit happy, a bit more energetic, and they're ready to get on the dance floor. But you can play it with up to 4 people. It's probably newer versions of this game, but obviously not on the Wii. There might be a few on the Wii, but Just Dance is, I think this might be the original Just Dance, very first. So, almost a classic, if you will. But it's definitely a game worth having a look at if you want to get the party started. Like this one in your game pile, put it in the basket for you. Brilliant choice, you won't regret that one. So I'll put that in the yes pile for now, and we can get that ready to get checked out in a bit. And then obviously here we're still away from the Nintendo brand games, and this is a Disney game. This is more of a sit down family game, but still obviously everyone can play that, and it's basically Think Fast, the family quiz game. And it says on Think You're Fast, Think Again, face off in a game of speed and knowledge. And it's hosted by the genie from Aladdin, and I believe, I can't 100% remember, but obviously that more likely be the Robin Williams genie, not the Will Smith one in the current films. and obviously you choose a character out of a few Disney characters to be, and then you, in a game style show, you're behind a podium. You get asked a certain amount of questions, you've got certain rounds you have to answer. Obviously the faster you answer, the more points you get if it's correct. And there's over 5,000 questions and more than 15 unique rounds. It's got classic film trivia from Disney. So if you're really into Disney and you think your family or your friends are into Disney, it's probably the perfect game to show who's got the best Disney knowledge out of you all. I would recommend this game if you're into your Disney, because it's obviously not up to date with Disney questions and quizzes, because obviously this was released in 2008, so anything 2008 and before, more than likely you'll be in this game. Anything after, if you've got new Disney knowledge, I might not recommend this one to you, but it's a really good one because it involves one of the few games on the Wii for families that you can just sit down and play. You're still lively and exciting, but you're not jumping around all over the place, so any member of the family can play it no matter who they are. Would this be a game that you are interested in, as it's a 3+, so whether it's family or friends you're going for, anyone can play it. So let's put this in the yes pile for now. Yeah, no worries, I'll put this straight in your basket for you. And this moves us on to our final Wii game of the 6 I have grabbed for you. We're back to another Nintendo Wii made game, and this is called Wii Play Motion. There was an original game called Wii Play before they added the Motion Plus to the controllers to make them more responsive, and this was released in line with that, because this is a little bit of a newer, for the time, Nintendo game. This was made in 2011, and the gimmick was that the controllers before weren't as sensitive, and they created a new piece of technology that plugged into the bottom called the Motion Plus that made them more responsive and more accurate to your hand movements. And obviously you have little mini games on this, as you can see from here. So you've got like moving the controller around, you've got hammers, you've got alien ships and stuff, and basically it's about, there's like some darts you've got to throw and moving the controller around precisely in games to hit certain objects, get points, knock things out the sky, and things like that really. And just fun little mini games that make the most of, like, it's not necessarily something that anyone's going to be really good at or off the bat, because obviously they're not like your regular sort of sports or mini games. They're just something interesting that utilises and really shows off the Motion Plus on the Wii controllers. Obviously again this is 7+, I believe, because it says here there is violence in it, so that's probably to do with like hammers hitting moles, because I believe there's whack-a-mole on this. But this is a really good game if you're into the Wii, because obviously, yeah, just a few different mini games for you that aren't your usual like sports and things like that. So, and yes, it is important, obviously you can play this game with 4 players as it shows on here, but you have to have the Wii Motion Plus, which is this big bulky case with the little add-on on the bottom. Some controllers, newer generation ones before near the end of the lifespan of the Wii, do have the motion controller inside without the big bulky add-on on it, so be careful. As long as your control says Wii Motion Plus inside, it's suitable for this game. But as something a little bit different, would you like me to put that in your yes pile? Brilliant. So I believe that's 5 Wii games you put in your basket now. Is there anything else you'd like to look at? Because I did bring out one quite sort of popular Nintendo DS game, because you said you were looking at Nintendo DS games. It's the only one we've got in store, but it is quite a, I wouldn't say rare, but it's more of a sought after game. People enjoy playing it. Today I think it still holds its value from what it used to be. So if you're interested, we have got one from the Pokemon series, and it's Pokemon Pearl, predecessor to Pokemon Platinum, and obviously the partner to Pokemon Diamond. This is the first game in the Sinnoh region of Generation 4, and this itself even predates the Wii, or rather most of the Wii games, because it came out in 2007. and this was the first game, I believe, on the Nintendo DS, first Pokemon game on the DS, because this came after Pokemon Emerald, which was on the Game Boy Advance. So this was the very first game they did, obviously off the Game Boy Advance onto a bit more with better graphics, stuff like that, onto a new system. And obviously, as you can see, the game's not in there for safekeeping, but that's all obviously grab that out the back if you do decide to purchase this game. But it's in very good condition, has all its original manuals in the box. Obviously the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection, you won't be needing that as the service shut down for all Nintendo DS and 3DS services very recently. So you will not be able to use them anymore. But obviously, just for history, they're a good read. And they don't do this anymore, but obviously you've got the game booklet for the game, you've got that, you've got the protagonists on the back, and your rival. And it just sort of explains you through the game. It just tells you really your basics you need to know. And I don't know about you, but this gives me a big lot of nostalgia when I was a small child. I used to be driving home in my parents' car from buying a game and getting ready to play it. And you just got to sit there reading the manual, getting really excited about playing the game when you got home. And I think this is one of the games I remember doing that with. I did have Diamond as well, so that was one of the other games I used to read, but it's just that really good condition manual. The box is in very good shape, it's got a few different scuffs on the box, and a few stickers, but generally compared to some of the boxes, very good condition, because as I said, this is nearly 17 years old, so in very good condition. And on the back I read more information to you. Welcome to the next generation of Pokemon. As a rookie Pokemon trainer, you need to catch and train and battle Pokemon on your journey to become the Pokemon League champion. You will fare many challenges along the way as you search for Pokemon that rule space in Pokemon Pearl version. Discover more than 100 new Pokemon in the Sinnoh region. So this game added 100 more Pokemon on top of the, I think it's about 300 they would have had by then. 350 roughly by that time. So obviously more reason to play, more Pokemon, new things to find out. Meet goals and earn ability to import Pokemon from your GBA. So those who do remember, when you had a DS, it had a Game Boy slot, the original DS. So you could put your Game Boy in the slot in the bottom, put this in and transfer Pokemon from your Sapphire and Rubies or into the game to keep them up to date in the generation. Battle and trade with your friends around the world using Nintendo Wi-Fi connection. As I believe this was the first Pokemon game to have a cycle of Wi-Fi connection, because obviously the Game Boys didn't have Wi-Fi connection, they had to have the adapters. So this is the first one where you could sit at home and connect to your Wi-Fi and actually battle people around instead of having to be like across the room from them. And then watch as day turns to night with the return of the real-time clock feature. So I believe this was in Pokemon Gold, it wasn't in Ruby and Sapphire, the 3rd generation. They brought it back in the 4th generation. So then you can experience playing day and night. And obviously catch different Pokemon depending on the time of day. But that's Pokemon Pearl. Obviously, I'd say now looking back, probably a classic of Pokemon. It's not quite the Pokemon Platinum. It's a bit different, obviously, but it led to Pokemon Platinum, and obviously being the first game on the console is usually quite a big thing as well. So if you're interested, I can put that to one side. Of course you are. You've got very good taste. So that's 6 games in your basket for you. Is there anything else you'd like to have a look around for, or anything else that you couldn't see out on the display that you would like me to have a look at the back for you? Or anything else you need? Any accessories? Any other games? A controller. So you want another Wii controller. Would you like just a controller? Would you like the nunchuck with it as well? Would you like a double deal? Because we've got controllers and nunchucks, but not as pairs, because they're different colours, they're different packs, but obviously that means you'll get them a little bit discounted anyway if we're getting one and the other. If you buy them as a set, we can do a little bit of a discount. If you buy them separately, they'll be full price. So if you want both, you would like both, that's fine. Let me just dip into the back and I'll grab you one. I'll grab you a good condition controller and bring one out and we can see if you're interested in it. And here we are. We've got a controller and a nunchuck for you. Obviously, you don't need the nunchuck to play every game, but you need it to play quite a few of them. For example, with Wii Sports, you need it for the boxing. You need to have both hands in, I think, so. But as you can see, this has Wii Motion Plus inside. So it saves you having the big, bulky, extra bit on the bottom. And it's a nice red colour. All the buttons work, as you can hear there. See, they all work perfectly. So, that's the red controller. And this is the nunchuck. Let me put the controller down for you. Are you interested in the red controller? Because I'll put it down in your basket if you're interested. Perfect. And this is the nunchuck, obviously. Here the buttons work. Here everything works in here. And obviously this just connects in the bottom of your actual Wii remote. So you can play with both and you have one in each hand and you'll be boxing away or whatever you'll be playing with. But are you interested in this one as well? Because as we can do it as a bit of a discount, as obviously they don't match if you want the set. Yes, no worries, perfect. We'll get you the bundle deal and we'll get you a little bit of money off. So let's go back for everything you bought and we'll check you out. So we've got your Wii remote and your nunchuck as a bundle. Save us a little bit of money there. And then we've got the most recent one, we've got Pokemon Pearl. Very good choice. Then we've got Pokemon Wii Play Motion. So one of the newer games in our store for the Wii. And just a bit different to all the other games. Obviously they're party games, but they're not your ones you'd expect. They're not like the bowling, the darts, the tennis. It's got darts on there, it's got whack-a-mole, it's got just loads of different things for you to sort of enjoy. Then we've got Think Fast Disney Quiz. Obviously again, you have to really enjoy Disney to play this. You wouldn't want to buy this if you didn't enjoy Disney, so I can see that you do. But as I said, Genie is a host, up to 4 players. And just really test your Disney knowledge against your friends and see, even if you're the best, see if you're the quickest and the sharpest for your Disney knowledge. Perfect. And then we've got Just Dance, the original Just Dance, first ever one. To have a nice dance in your front room, whether you're on your own, with friends, family, just for like jamming out. Very good game. As I said, a trendsetter, as being the first in the series. Then we've got your 2 little games in their packet. So we've got Wii Sports and Wii Sports Resort, which is a really good deal because you're getting 2 of probably the best games on the Wii with endless hours of fun. And then finally, one of the first Mario Karts in a proper 3D, and that's Mario Kart Wii. It's in a disc packet, so you'll get it discounted because it's not boxed, it's not new. It's what we call in the business, we call it discounted because it's missing its like original pieces or original box. So you will get a little bit of money off that as well. So put this to one side. And unless there's anything else you need, we can't convince you to get the other game you left behind. No, of course not. That's perfectly fine. I just wanted to check. And are you a loyalty member with us? Would you like to sign up to our loyalty program where obviously you get points for games you buy, and eventually you can trade those points in for equivalent money-wise, so games, controllers, accessories, Pokemon cards, trading cards, anything like that. Perfect. So we'll get all your stuff in the system. You can just fill it in for me on this tablet I'll give to you in a minute, and we will get that sorted for you. But if that's it, we will get you checked out and we'll get you on your way. But don't need to rush. We're open all night. If you want to buy your games, you just sit and relax. As I said afterwards, sit down. We're always here.